Our bodies are not meant, they are not designed to be malnourished, unrested, stressed all the time, and then expect to be full of energy, happy, with glowing skin. That combination is just not normal. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 3-step health model to get you to that place of feeling full of energy, feeling healthy with the glowing skin. Now, why is this 3-step model important? Because what we do within this 3-step model is essentially what's going to interact with our genes and influence the way that they act. Depending upon that genetic disposition and how they act, whether they turn on the genes for health or the genes for illness, that's then going to interact with our biochemistry, with our hormones, our neurotransmitters, our gut, will either lead us down a path of health or lead us down a path of illness. So that's why this 3-step model is very important. Hi, my name is Sandrina here with the beautiful Laura, and we are co-hosts of Etoile Wellness, your guiding star to healing, where we help women reclaim their health. So Laura, great topic today. This is like the foundational of everything. Before the expensive tests, before the big changes in your home, you really want to nail this down. It's 3 steps: maximize, minimize, and prioritize. When it comes to maximizing, we're looking at what can we maximize to bring health into our bodies, to bring health into our life. What are some examples, Laura, of what people should be considering and thinking about maximizing?
Yeah, this is fabulous. So first thing that comes to mind is clean, fresh air, right? So when we think about clean, fresh air, we all live in different locales and we all are experiencing different levels of clean, fresh air. But again, if you just make the decision, if we think about an actionable task that can go along with getting clean, fresh air, open your windows. Open your windows and just allow that clean, fresh air, as clean as it's going to be at that spot, to kind of come in if you're able to, right? And open the windows and have that clean, fresh air circulate through your home. You can also use some HEPA air filters. That could be something that you can consider as well. This is all in an effort to get your body to have the best source of oxygen and carbon dioxide that it can in order to help it function optimally. So clean, fresh air is one. The second one would be clean, filtered water. This is really important because water really is life, and it really is. Hydration is so important, and it's often so underrated and overlooked and just thrown into that back burner, and like nobody cares about it. But hydration is big, like it's big time. So I don't know about you, but oftentimes municipal waters, or well waters, if you will, are kind of full of things that we probably don't want to have within our systems. So if you are able, to the extent that you are, to filter that water, that would be ideal. Whether you have a souped up osmotic filter that's attached to your faucets, or you have a Brita or one of those AquaGear or zero water types of pitcher filters. Again, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So when you start to filter that water and you start to then hydrate, you are maximizing your body's ability to function, because hydration is one of the things we need along with air and oxygen. The next one is really a broad category. It's nutrients. It's nourishing our bodies, right? So it's all the sort of micronutrients, right? The vitamins, the minerals, all of those kinds of things that we get from our food source, right? So we want to think of our food source as being healthy forms of carbohydrates, proteins, healthy fats, and those would be considered our macronutrients. But if we want to kind of just have an overarching or an umbrella view, it's really about nourishing foods, because we really and truly need to nourish our bodies and maximize the nourishment of our bodies if we want to be able to have genes that express themselves as healthfully as possible. Then we absolutely need to do maximize these three things: air, water, and nourishing foods.
Absolutely. And also a mindset that healing is possible. Sometimes we get in this rut of negative thinking and feeling kind of like hopeless or helpless, and just being mindful of the thoughts that you're having and trying to, every time you find yourself with a negative thought, substitute it with a positive one. It takes
Absolutely.
practice and takes time for sure. It's
And to
not.
kind of know true, it's so true, Sandrina. You're so right to bring that up. It's to know that these maximizing principles and actions that you are doing are healing and helpful and
Mhm.
restoring your body to the vitality that it really has. Like it's just yearning to come out. And
Mhm.
again, it's for that unique person, right? So what might be nutrients that are really helpful and that we want to maximize for you may not be the same exact ones we need to maximize for me at this point in time, ages and stages, right? But it is about taking that big subject, that big topic of nourishment, right? Before we get down into the nitty gritty. But it's about nourishment and believing that nourishing yourself with clean air, clean water, and clean foods is actually leading you down a path of healing and vitality.
Absolutely. And now minimize. What are some things that we should be thinking about minimizing if we want to bring in health into our life and into our bodies?
Yeah. So minimizing is really kind of like focusing on the things that are burdening our system, right? So when we think about that, we think about toxins, right? We think about infections. And it doesn't have to be an acute infection. It could be a chronic, low-lying kind of stealth infection that we might not know we have. Let's say a dysbiosis, an imbalance in that gut microbiome. Toxin exposure is kind of similar. We might not really realize it, right? It could be those amalgam mercury fillings that are sitting in your mouth. It could be, the personal hygiene products that you're using. It could be your food, right? So your food is a really big way that we kind of bring in the outside world into our body, and our body takes a message from that outside world, like, how safe are you? And so toxins, we have infections, we have allergies or sensitivities that could be in the form of foods or it could be in the environment, and they're burdening our immune system. Stress, right? So when we think about stress, we tend to think about emotional stress, and we're right to, because we have a lot of strife, right? And a lot of stress that we can imagine that can be psychological or emotional and mental for sure. But stress is also physical, right? So stress is if you've had an injury or you've had a physical trauma, that could definitely burden your body. So we want to be able to be as safe as we can and minimize that stress, right? So it's the idea that we're minimizing anything that is going to really kind of like be burdening our system and causing it to have to deal with other things while not dealing with optimizing our function. This could also be your limiting beliefs. This could be really anything along those lines that is sort of holding you back, right? It's burdening you, it's holding you back. So we want to minimize that while we begin down this path of healing.
Absolutely. And before we get into prioritizing, we have a gift for you. Just below this video in the description, you will find our guide, 10 Ways to Detox, a great read, some activities, some tasks that you would definitely want to maximize on your day-to-day to bring in health into you, into your family as well. So now prioritizing. What are some examples? What exactly are we prioritizing? And what are some examples of how we can go about doing that?
Yeah, prioritize is probably one of my favorites, right? Because this is something that we can think about and we can really initiate straight away, right? So sleep is a perfect example, right? We tend to kind of do with sleep like we do with a lot of other things about healing. We kind of just back burner it, and we say, oh, well, we don't have time, or it's okay, I'll be fine. And to a degree, maybe. But the truth of the matter is if you're not sleeping well, you're not able to heal or to live life with vitality. It will not work, right? We need sleep, and we need optimal sleep in order to function well. So prioritize your sleep. Really, It's so fascinating because we prioritize the sleep of children and we prioritize the sleep of our babies, but we don't ever think about prioritizing the sleep of us as the caregivers, but we really have to prioritize that. So treat it, treat it as beautifully and as importantly as you would anything else, or something for a loved one or a baby or a child. Set up a routine, kind of close down your phone, close down all of the things that could be distracting, and just prioritize sleep. You're going to want to definitely prioritize rest, laughter, creativity. We don't really realize just how important prioritizing creativity is to healing. All of those things that go is minimize and maximize organic foods, the best foods that you can buy, right? There's a hierarchy of foods. So again, it's not about perfection, it's about progress and expansion and learning. So start to think about how you can up level your food, how you can up level your water, your drinking water. All of these things go so far and matter so much. So you want to prioritize living as healthfully as you can to really help set the stage for your body and mind to be able to prioritize healing or living with as much vibrance and as much vitality as you possibly can.
Absolutely. I really do love this topic. It's so foundational, but it's so powerful. But yes, so when you're on your day-to-day and you're making some decisions about what to eat or where to go or what you're thinking, just think to yourself, take a moment, pause and think, am I maximizing health? Am I minimizing illness? And am I prioritizing an environment that is conducive to health and well-being? And we think that'll take you pretty far indeed. So there you have it. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, we would appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe, send it, share it with your family and friends, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.